Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I wanted to talk a bit about whether there's going to be a crash in the stock market. So we've all seen a very interesting year. 2020 has been full of a lot of downs and also some ups perhaps as well. We all would have experienced the coronavirus pandemic and how that's had an effect on the economy. But this article was on the front page of Yahoo Finance today, and it really caught my eye because it has a lot of interesting things on there that I wanted to discuss on here as well. So if we have a look at some of the reasons that this article believes that there's going to be a crash in the stock market, there's a lot of uncertainty going on in the world right now. In Europe, with Brexit, with Britain leaving the EU, there's a lot of uncertainty around that. Even the news today has been that the Prime Minister, for example, of the UK has not come up with an agreement with the EU Commission yet, and therefore there's a lot of uncertainty as to which trade laws and so on we're going to be following, and it will probably be following the WTO trade laws up until they can form some kind of agreement, if at all. That's something that is definitely going to have an impact on the market. Rates of trade will probably decrease due to these restrictions, and the amount of fees and sort of laws that these businesses will now have to abide by will change, and they will have to adapt, and the fees will be increased and so on. So there's going to be some change in that. This year has been good in terms of stock market growth for a lot of companies. We've seen a lot of good growth in companies such as Tesla, Amazon. A lot of these tech companies, for example, have seen some good growth. The stock market in general saw obviously a massive decline in March time when the whole pandemic really began properly, and it also very much so recovered very quickly as well, and saw some growth, and it's seen some great gains. And stock market historically has always experienced downturns following its gains, as you can see in the article here as well. So it's seen some good gains this year, and it's now a case of, based off of previous data, what can we expect? It's going to be a case of potential downturns that are coming up in the coming months as well. So I mentioned a bit about the coronavirus pandemic, and the world's economy outlook is not looking too optimistic right now based off of everything that's gone on and the uncertainty behind everything. So let's have a look at what other things this particular article states. It's also talking a bit about, yes, the conditions of businesses, I mentioned, is changing based off of uncertainty for investors as well. That can also be an underlying cause of a potential crash in the market. Interest rates are very, very low right now. There's even talk of, for example, in the UK, of potential negative interest rates coming about next year, and that is something that it is actually very enticing for investors in terms of looking out for these undervalued stocks that potentially could go up for very patient investors. Right now, if we do see these declines in stock share prices, for example, it would be a great time to buy. It's always best to buy in the dip and hold on for the long term then. So you have to be very patient with that, because we may not see some growth for a short while based off of everything that's happened. But going forward, patient investors always win. It's better not to time the market, and it's better just to hold for the long term. So what other things can we see on here? Yes, as I mentioned, waiting for share prices to fall in stock market crash can require a large amount of patience and discipline. So not only at the point of potentially selling that share when it's gone up high again, but also waiting for the right opportunity to buy. You want to be able to buy low, okay? And it has to be a high quality company. There's no good buying companies that you think are not going to prosper and are not doing well anyway. It's about high quality companies that have a track record of doing great. Perhaps your plan is for dividend investing, perhaps it's for equity investing. Whatever suits you best, you want to make sure that the company that you're investing in is of a high quality stature, basically. So this is something that you play for the long run, and you keep it in mind for the coming years. As you can see here, this article kind of summarizes that very well. So do I think that there is going to be a stock market crash in the coming months? Yes, I believe so. I think it's inevitable at this point based off of the track record and performance from this year, especially. But I'm not seeing it as a terribly bad thing, because my goal for the shares and stocks that I've invested in is to hold for the long term. Okay, and it's not a case of I'm going to sell, anytime soon. With great sort of decline comes great buying opportunities. I'm going to be actually increasing the amount of shares and stocks that I have. I'm going to see which high quality companies I can invest in based off of their share prices being reduced, and make those purchases and then hold on for the long term. That's ultimately what is going to lead to a very good success, because the compounding rate as the company grows again will increase, and your rate of return will therefore be greater as well. So that's just a little bit about my insight behind the stock market crash that is potentially coming up, and what you can do to kind of benefit from it as such. What you can definitely do is not sell your shares if you see their prices are going down, because long-term investors always win. You have to be able to have strong hands and hold on to your shares despite any economic downturn. You will come out the other end with a good amount of growth there on your share prices as well. I'm sure of it. That's just my insight into it. If you have any questions, let me know down below in the comment section. Otherwise, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye bye.